What we're going to do with 17 to 22, the last 6 habits, is we're going to rewire your neurological hardware in here to automatically vibrate higher, or feel good to vibrate higher, because it gets you up that chart, it feels good, and then the world around you start attracting better things into your life. This is it's science. It's the universal laws or the law of attraction. Okay, plus you feel wonderful, which is the whole point of this. Now, the bad news, if we look how society conditions us, when we're young children under the age of 7, life tends to be a bit of a joy for most of us, where we just go through the world with wonder. The world's a playground. If we're upset, bang a knee, we quickly get over it and then carry on. We've got no responsibility, and we run around high vibrational and joy generally. Okay, and then the world starts to condition us, telling us what to think, what to do, and starts to program us with lots of negativity. Okay, we've got the media, which is these days is 24/7, which is mostly propaganda to tell us about the terrorism, the wars, the inflation, problems. The wolf is coming together. It's just negativity, which is all it's all controlled and purposely put out there through social media. And of course, we're all trying to make the best of our lives, and it's nose to the grindstone. We're struggling, and we've got all these pressures, and there's a lot of negativity that we're all embroiled in. Now, we've talked about this chart, and the guy who did this, David Hawkins, he calibrated humanity around about 10 years ago, the last time, and he calibrated it. 78% of humanity was below the 200 mark, which means they're suffering or getting by. It's probably a bit better now because more people are raising the vibration. Okay, that's quite alarming because the system keeps us in sort of that fear, suffering, so we're just trying to get by. And of course, with the law of attraction, with this chart, which everything's based on, what your underlying vibration is, average vibration, is what you're putting out there, and you're attracting more of it. So when you're suffering, without realizing, you're attracting more into your life. Okay, so it's breaking free from that, feeling good. So of course it's nice to go through the world feeling good, and you start attracting more on the same level. Okay, so that's the bad news, the way the world's wired. Now, if we go, use this on many of the habits. If we go to our mind, the conscious and subconscious, the conscious obviously wants the best quality of life possible. That goes without saying. But the problem is it's the subconscious that's being programmed by the world around us with all the negativity and fear and misery and the conditioning around us. It goes in here. Now, your subconscious pretty much controls you. 95% of what your body does and everything around you comes from your subconscious. It's like a sponge. It just takes it all in. So if you, as we're basically living in a soup of negativity generally, if we don't correct that, we can just end up naturally attracting more negativity because that becomes a default setting. So what we're going to do here is override this by rewiring it, okay, which is it's quite fun stuff to do. Now, the good news is we're all predisposed to feel good, okay, within our bodies, and we'll come to that shortly. Okay, now, we've covered this in different videos, but I'll just recap because this is very important. How we think and feel creates our vibration. Okay, we're multi-dimensional beings trying to make the best of this journey on Earth. Now, our thoughts create a emotional state within our body, which then creates an electromagnetic vibration, which you're putting out into the universe, and it's a magnet, and it attracts like energy back. So circumstances, events on the same wavelength. So if we're suffering and just getting by, we attract more suffering and more getting by. If we can get up this chart into the good stuff, love, joy and peace, because that's what we all want, and prosperity and fulfillment and happiness, if we can resonate at that consistently, we bring all that back to us. Hence why we want to make this a priority to get in the habit of feeling good now. It's all about your feelings. Now, there's a tendency to think, okay, to look at the world around us and think, oh, I desire that and I'll be really happy when I get that. But that's back to front. We have to do it the other way. We have to do it, go inside to create these states so it comes to us, rather than waiting for the government or the world around us to arrange itself for the way we would want it. Okay, so it's sort of back to front. Now, an example I've given out on a previous video in the last week is if the world, let's say for the next 5 years, the first 5 people you spoke to every day gave you wonderful compliments. You're looking gorgeous, you're looking fantastic, oh, you're so positive, you're always upbeat. We will go through life bouncing because our subconscious will be programmed with positivity. It just makes us feel good and reinforces all the positive things that we want to hear. It will be wonderful. Now, that world's coming. It's coming down the line. But until that happens, we can't rely on the outside world. So we've got to do the inner work, which is build that state ourselves by doing the right habits to create it. So we're taking the negativity we all generally have from the world around us. So there's no judgment. It's just the way it is. And we're going to reprogram it to feel good. Okay, so then if we can feel good, love, joy and peace that we want as a default setting, and it takes practice, hence why everything is habits. At a certain point, it gets easier and easier and easier, and then we naturally start attracting everything we want into our lives. Okay, so what we're basically doing is going to rewire our brain to feel good. So the neurons in our brain, rather than having negativity, it automatically defaults to the positive. It just takes time for that inertia to get it better and better, and then it becomes a natural state of being. And it never ends. It's a continual thing. Hence why it's habits, so you do it forever, or as long as you want to feel good. If you get bored, you can obviously stop. Okay, need a bit of humour in all this.